Hey everybody, welcome back to another vlog. So, I just want to apologize for not putting anything out there anytime sooner because, well, winter's terrible. There's nothing to do around. Like, there's literally nothing to do around here. And my garage is, it's, it's too small to do anything interesting in, which, I mean, I'm going to contradict myself with that today. But, anyways, so, I think the last vlog I left off with taking all my wheels off and stuff, and I said I would polish them and make them all nice and shiny. So I don't know how great the camera does with this, but they look brand new. All I did was take Dawn water and a sponge. I gave them a good rub down, wiped them off, I let them dry. Then I hit them with that. It's some kind of Meguiar's tire shine. It does a great job. It makes them look wet. I don't know why that's cool. I'd prefer if they were just a nice bright dark, if that makes sense. Like not like matte or anything. But yeah. So I did that, and then I have some other kind of Meguiar's detailing spray that I use. And I literally just soaked them in that, and then I scrubbed that off with a microfiber cloth, and then I just went over it again with another microfiber cloth to get all the residue that the previous cloth didn't get. So they came out really nice. So I don't know if I'm going to film putting those back on the car because I just know how boring and tedious that is, and who really wants to see that? But so for once, I finally got some time to do something today. The past, like, how long, with winter being terrible, there's nothing to really do. And then now that spring's here, I started coaching track. So, like, I get out of work, I go to track, I come home, I clean up, eat, and it's literally straight to bed. And then I start over the next day. And my weekends, they've been relatively busy. There might have been a little bit of laziness in there, I'll give you that. But, yeah, so today I finally don't have anything to do. Wow, that light's annoying. But, yeah, so it's Sunday. Yesterday, I woke up, I went to work, I worked half a day, I came home to track practice. That was 2 hours. Then I left track practice, and I drove to Lancaster, because I gave my coach, my college coach, some javelins to repair and paint, because the local high school, we know young kids destroy everything. So I drove there, which was almost 2 hours. Then while I was there, I messed around. There's a pretty cool fish place down there. They actually have this gigantic pond inside where you can pet the stingray. It's pretty cool. Me and one of my friends drove there just so I wasn't alone. And I don't want to say we spent the day there, but we went there and we went to Buffalo Wild Wings. It was great. I sat at my table for like an hour. The waitress came over and was like, "I'm so sorry for this. You aren't going to have to pay for any of this." Well, I shouldn't say that. "You aren't going to have to pay for your meal." So I got a free meal. And since my waitress was so great, like, she was there like every 5 minutes being like, "I'm sorry, I don't know where your food is." Like, I keep going back and asking. So I don't know exactly what my bill would have been, but I left her over a $20 tip just because that's probably what my food would have cost. And I'm like, well, she deserves it more than this business. So I don't know if I'll get in trouble for slander, but yeah. I literally got 10 boneless wings and a beer. I had my beer almost finished before I even got 10 boneless wings. So yeah, so she made out because she's a good person. But yeah, anyways, today, so I've mentioned it before. I have no idea what that is. I don't like the sound of that. But anyways, I've mentioned it before. So I have a 700 R4 transmission in my Corvette, right? Which isn't factory. So I can't use first gear because there's this thing in the center console. It's called it's like, I think it's called a detent bracket. This is the specific name for it. And it's when you hit the button and take your car out of park, it has little indents in it so that you have to push the button to get it out of park. You have to push the button to get it out of reverse. You can't just push it into park from reverse. Or like when you put it in, you can put it into neutral and you can just pull it back into drive, and you can push it forward and backwards from neutral to drive. But then from drive, you have to push the button down to go back into third. And I think no, you don't have to do it. You don't have to push the button down to get down into second. But the second, when it gets into second, it can't go any farther. It can't actually physically drop down into first. When I pull up to a stop sign, since it's an automatic transmission, it'll automatically drop into first when I get the chance. So anyways, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to try to Dremel that bracket so that I can get down into first. I looked online, and you can actually buy a bracket that lets you get down into first. But like, when I show you the bracket, you're going to be like, that thing costs that much. So I took it upon myself to, instead of I think it was $130 for that bracket. So instead of spending $130 on that bracket, I went out and I spent, I think it was $125 on a Dremel with an accessory toolkit. So instead of spending that much money on just that bracket that I'm going to put in the car and that's where it's going to be, I spent that money on a Dremel that I can use to, I don't know what you want to call it, mill out the next little slot for first gear in my car, and any other future purposes, I now have a Dremel. So we're going to do that. All right, I will see you in the garage. I will see you in the garage. All right, so small disclaimer. I tried to film this last week, and the Dremel didn't have a good enough tool to actually do this. I think the detent bracket is some kind of hardened steel. So I have it all torn apart, as we can see. I'll show you the detent bracket. So this little thing, that bracket right there that the shifter is in, that, if you've seen that, this entire little bracket, that cost $130 to buy another one that has its own little slot for a $700 Ford transmission. Costs like $130 for that. Like, I don't know. If you had a company that makes those, like for all cars, I should say for all cars, but if you have a company that like makes that, I bet you that's like maybe $4 worth of steel. And then I'm going to assume they just have a gigantic punch that punches that out of a sheet. So it probably costs, again, like $4 for the metal and like $10 to make, which is absolutely ridiculous. Like, if they gave me the time at work, I could make one of those. Like, there's nothing complicated about that. I could literally reverse engineer that in probably 15 minutes. But yeah, so that cost like $130. So instead, I bought this nice Dremel for $125, and it came with that case that's literally full of stuff. I shouldn't say that's not really full of stuff. That has, I think it has like 3 or 4 other heads in it, and then it came with this little case that has a whole bunch of cutting stuff in it, which, if this is hardened like I think it is, nothing in there was going to cut it. So I'll get it out for you. I know it's probably hard to see. I don't know what the name of this thing is, but I know it's carbide. We we use them at work to like deburr things, and I've used stuff like this on like titanium before. So I'm gonna give this a shot and see what I can do. But like I said, I tried this last week and I catastrophically failed. It was one of those things where you like, when you leave the garage, you're just kind of like, wow, I thought I was better than this. But yeah, so I already have it torn apart. To tear it apart, I think I took like one screw out of the side of it, out of this floppy piece here, all the way up here. And then I literally just popped the center console out. Like, it wasn't bolted in or anything. I mean, I think there's wires and stuff holding it down, so I can't get it off more without taking them off. So yeah, I will try dremeling the rest of this out with this carbide, whatever you want to call it, the burring tool, whatnot. And I will show you guys the results. So hang tight. That doesn't really matter, because when I stop filming, I'm going to restart after I'm finished. So don't hang tight. It'll be here in like 5 seconds. Alright guys, so I think I done it. So right now I can't see anything. My bad. I'm terrible. I'm sorry for that. I can't see anything. So, well, that's kind of better. Not really, but okay, we'll go with that. So that is neutral, right? So there's fourth, third, second, and that's first. Now in first. That took over an hour. That was not as easy as I expected. That carbide thing, that didn't do too much. So what I ended up doing was I ripped the little, I don't know what this is. It goes around the shifter. I didn't rip it out. I took it out, and then I used this cutting wheel, which worked flawlessly, let me tell you. I tried that last time, and I couldn't get it in there, and I couldn't get that out. Well, I guess from yanking it around in the last 15 minutes, it kind of just fell out. So yeah, I went in with this, and it did the job, right? So I'm gonna put it all back together, and then I'll slap it through the gears and show you how it goes through all of them yet again. And then I got a surprise for you, which some of you will like, some of you probably won't, I don't know. But, you know, general consensus, most... Alright guys, so I got it all back together and everything. So, fun fact, when your GoPro says you have 5% battery left, it lies to you and then just shuts off. So, in the middle of finishing up that last clip, or whatever you want to call it, just cuts off right in the middle of where I was talking. Yeah, it was great. So I don't remember if I mentioned that I got a nice surprise for us that some of us will like and some of us probably won't care about. So yeah, I'll just show you my shifter, and that didn't just sound weird, but so yeah, I'll row through the gears for you and show you that it works. So right now we're in park. There's reverse, neutral, fourth, third, second, and that's first. It's a little iffy on first, but I'm actually pretty fine with that, because for those of you who know, or maybe don't know, the 700 R4 is known for having like a really short first gear. So hopefully that just helps me get out of it faster, because I mean, I've only ever really driven in second, or had as far down as second gear, but from those couple times I was at the drag strip, that first gear, that's a ripper. If I had any smaller tires on, I would probably burn them off all the way through third, like without effort. So with that, let's go show you this wonderful surprise that I got again, I don't know when I'll put the tires on. Cars and Coffee actually starts, I think it was May 3rd. So that's in 2 weeks. Yes, I think it's 2 weeks from now. So hopefully by, I will put the tires on by then. Hopefully I'll go, depending on the weather. But I'm looking forward to it. Since COVID, they canceled it. So we haven't really had it, which kind of sucks. But anyways, so this wonderful this wonderful thing I want to show you guys. It's mostly the reason why I haven't filmed anything in the past, I don't know, 3 months I think it's been, 2 months, 3 months. It's literally taken up every minute of my time when I'm not at work. Where is he? There he is. That's Zeus. In 2 days, Zeus will be a 5-month-old Doberman. Well, he's a Doberman. In 2 days, he will be 5 months old. So for the last 2 months, I've been training a puppy. He's great. He's incredibly smart. I taught him how to sit, and then in literally less than a week, I taught him how to give me his paw, and then I trained that for a week, and then the next week, I taught him how to lay down. And recently, I've taught him how to stay. Trying to teach him how to speak. I don't know if that's going to be a good idea or not, but yeah. This is the little pupper. Look at that nose. Look at those big floppy ears and gigantic feet. He was at the vet on Monday. 46.5 pounds. He will be a big monster. Come here, you monster. Come here. Come here. My pupper doggo. Whatever you want to call it. So Zeus, he hasn't been in the Corvette, but I've started it, and he just seems to not really care about it. Care about the noise. So we're gonna see how it goes. He's okay in the car, but I've seen all over the internet, he's clingy. He's very clingy. You're clingy, buddy, aren't you? You're very clingy. Can I have kisses? Thank you. Thank you. Very clingy. So, at that, I will end this vlog. But now we can start the dog vlog. That was a terrible joke. Don't ever let me make it again. Well, I'm going to go chase my pup because he's probably going to pee in the house because that's what they do. So yeah, I will end this vlog and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.